the light that surrounds me. If we hold ourselves together, we'll go far. Created a space. In my head it was empty, but I know that I want to be where you are. I was denied. I had spent those years, did not recognize the person that's inside. We have a purpose, but to take that leap, you must recognize the person that's inside. The person that's inside. Believe me, I swear, the story's not over. As I fall, I will continue to get up. I cannot stop because it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sminkel. I hope you guys are having an awesome day, because I surely am. We are back on Marwell Manor, checking up on the farming side of life. So I just finished up the ploughing on field, I think it's 15. So we can now start to seed it. I might need this colt to plough again, so I'm just going to keep it around and stuff it somewhere in the back of the shed. Yeah, I think that'll do. That'll do nicely. Let's put it way at the back. There. Okay. So ploughing is done. You can do the seeding. What I also did was I baled and sold 100 bales. Let me tell you, 100 bales, it's a lot of bales, and we made some good buck from that as well. The interesting part is about a third of the field is still left, so we still got a lot of grass that we can actually turn into silage bales. As you can see, there's still a lot of it around, so still work to be done, but I don't think I'm necessarily going to focus on that now. The other thing that happened was that the sun-backed solar guys came and installed the solar panels, as you can see right there. So we now have a solar panel on our farm. So this is actually very cool, because it's subsidized. The profit we will be receiving from that should actually cover the setup costs fairly fast, so that's going to be awesome. And then after that, pure profit, so that's cool. Seeding wise, what I decided on to order was, let me just open the tablet quickly, was the 9 meter, the Horse Pronto. It's not massive, but I think for my purposes this should be fine. I hope. I sincerely hope so. I think it still might take some time to get everything done, but you know, less so than if I had to use a freaking 3 meter planter or something, because that would have been absolutely ridiculous. So we also have this field, which is freaking humongous. It goes over the crest there. It's massive. I mean, that field already is, well, it's a lot of work. And the one next to it, it's I think almost twice the size. It's huge. So yeah, I'm just gonna go get the planter real quick. Oh, sorry, seeder, and then we can get seeding. Also want to do a quick cultivation job for that farmer over there. Just a couple of bucks, but you know, it's a couple of bucks extra. Okie dokie. We have a brand new horse pronto, which is awesome. So I'm just going to open this up so we can load the seed and the fertilizer, because it takes both. And the cool thing about this, it is also it direct drills, which means you don't have to cultivate beforehand. So now it takes another step out of the process of getting the seed in the ground. So that's actually awesome. I could have gone with a 12-meter planter, seeder, the Lemken something. Is it Lemken? Yeah, the Lemken Solitaire. But it's not a direct draw. So I would have needed to cultivate first and then do the planting, and that would have taken quite a while. It defies the purpose of having a large planter. I keep calling it a planter. Okay, so that's sorted. Pardon me. So let's get this baby loaded up. I really do love this telehandler. As you all know, I'm a big massive fan, so any excuse. Too much. See, that's the nice thing about a telehandler. You can actually freaking reach. So that's cool. Okay, let's get this back down and get the seed in. So it takes 2,000 liters of fertilizer and 3,000 liters of seed. And I found that it all normally runs out of fertilizer first. Come on. It is just not working today. Oh, salt. Come on. Fails of the week, people. Fails of the week. What? Get off the forks. Sheesh. Sticky little bugger. Okay, seed next. Again, if I can aim. Yeah, well, brand new seeder, I'm already breaking it. Nice one. I think we should have enough. Yes, we have enough. Coolness. Let's see if we can get this down easier than we got the seed down. Yeah, if I can learn to drive. Come on. Why is this not working today? It's It's worked so well previously, and now it just... it's not playable. Okay, anyway, so we're loaded up. We can now start seeding. And that's the other advantage of having a high horsepower tractor, is you can actually use the nice big equipment. So I can actually go a size bigger and go to the 15 meter. The 15 meter seeder, which is also a direct roll with Amazon Condor. However, that thing was just too expensive. I would have blown my entire bank account on that thing, and that's just not worth it for me. So I'd rather go a little bit smaller, and I've got money left in the bank for, you know, whatever. So I think I'm going to go with canola for this one. See how that pans out as far as profitability goes. Yeah. Let's get to it. Lower, turn it on. Let's be off. So I'm gonna do 2 circuits again, as with most things that I do. I'm gonna do 2 circuits, and then I'm gonna set a worker off. Hopefully they don't mess up too badly. They're probably gonna miss a few pieces here and there, but I'll just come and clean that up afterwards. And while they do this, I'm gonna go back and see if I can finish baling the rest of the grass that's on the field. Even if you don't sell it immediately, you know, it's nice to have it there that you don't have to worry about it. Alternatively, I could just leave it there, and then with the next cut, that grass will just be added, you know, windrowed with all the new stuff. I suppose that's not the most realistic way to do things, but you know, you could do it that way. I was actually surprised that this thing struggled a little bit uphill, and I mean, it's 300 horsepower, it shouldn't be struggling at all. And this is not a massive hill, which makes me glad I didn't take the big boy. Because I mean, the fertilizer works on time being on, not the amount of distance that you move. So whether you move at 10 kilometers an hour or 18 kilometers an hour, you use the same amount of fertilizer for a, argument's sake, 10-second period. So the faster you can seed, the better usage of the fertilizer is going to be. The seed on the other hand, usage is based on empty or prepared field, empty field, you know, field that's not been planted yet. So if half the seeder is on the grass to the side and only half on the ground, it's only going to consume half of the seed. I know that's a strange mechanic, and you would think the fertilizer would work the same way. Don't know why it doesn't, but you know, that's just the way it is. Yeah, even with this large seeder, it's going to take a while. This is actually a big field. And it's not square, which is why workers struggle. Plus there's poles in the middle of the field, which is another obstacle. Yeah, see, 13 kilometers an hour, it's really struggling uphill. I'm gonna run out of fertilizer very quickly if this is going to be the way of it. This thing should be seeding at 18 kilometers an hour, and I really don't know why 300 horsepower is struggling to keep it at 18, because it shouldn't be. This is more than what the actual requirement is to run the seeder. This really isn't that big a slope. A little strange, if you ask me. But anyway, I think I'll get this done. Still need to decide whether I'm going to go baling or whether I'm just going to continue with planting canola. Or oil seed right, whatever you want to call it. I think that's good. No, crap, I'm planting oats. Oh, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that. Oh, size. Oh well, so apparently we're planting oats. And crap. I specifically wanted a lower volume yielding crop to make harvesting faster. You know, the harvester won't fill as quickly. Oh. Also, I'm going to use more seed to plant, obviously, because it's a much denser crop. That is such a stupid mistake to make. Oh well. We're planting oats now. Which means another crop that's going to yield straw. And straw takes a long time. Because this is now going to be a fully fertilized crop. The previous wheat or barley that I harvested from here wasn't fertilized or anything. It wasn't a very productive crop, and this is going to be very productive because I also plowed beforehand, so productivity is going to be high, which means the trailers are going to fall very fast, the grain carts, and there's going to be a lot of straw, and that's going to be a lot of baling and selling and moving and oh well, could be worse. Can always be worse. I'm just gonna have to refill about a third of the way through on this field. But that's alright. Why am I going this slow? Okay, 2 circuits done. To line this up correctly. I think here will do. I think, let's see. I'll keep an eye on the worker for like a single pass or two, and see where he goes from there. But I think either way I'll speed this up or do a couple of cutscenes or something like that, and then I'll see you guys at the end of it again. Cool.
Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast. All tied up like a captive. I'm on to you. Used to pay to my life, standing on rainbows, playing it cool. I haven't felt this in ages, and I've no more patience. So won't you please stay a bit longer? You're making me
Okay, just one last little bit to do. Honestly, I'm surprised at how far I got on a single tank of seed and fertilizer. I really didn't think I'd make it that far. I was hoping for, you know, at best half of the field being planted. But hey, you know, surprises everywhere. Good surprise at least. And we are done. Our very first crop seeded. It's a bit of a bugger up with me wanting to have planted canola, which was that one. But hey, you know, oats will work, and you still get a little bit of extra income from the straw as well, so that shouldn't be too bad. I think I'm gonna put it here in the first shed. Next to the fertilizer spreader. And we all love reversing, don't we? And me with my OCD wanting it straight, obviously. What I think I'm gonna do is check if there's cultivating job on those two fields over there, just to get a little bit of extra cash. Let me just, you know, before I drive all the way there, let me quickly check. Fertilizing and fertilizing. Bunch of fertilizing jobs. The cool thing is now we can actually use our own fertilizer sprayer and get a little bit more profit. I'm gonna do that. There's 3 fertilization jobs. I'm quickly gonna do that. Let me just grab the New Holland. And the fertilizer sprayer. And I need to go bale the rest of this grass as well. But I don't think I'm going to do that now. Okay. I don't need the big masser to do the fertilizing spreading. Oh, I need fuel. Before I forget, I need fuel. Don't want to go standing in the middle of a job. I've never had to use the refuel this tractor before. Yes, this is a fuel tank. Cool. At least there's diesel in it. Yay me. Okay, awesome. 200 pounds, not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. Yeah, I don't think the Massey would have been able to turn around in this small shed. It's quite a large tractor, and I mean the New Holland barely made it. Let's go fertilizing, people. Field 2, except just not need to remember which one's field 2. No, okay. Ah, the brain. So with this fertilizer spreader, it should actually be a fairly quick job to get everything on there. We can do both of these fields and then a quick run over to field 1 and do that one as well. That's, what's that gonna be? 16,000 for very little effort. I say this thing's got such a wide spread. It's gonna be no time before this is done. Because the sprayer they give you to use, I think it's a normal rear mounted one, that's I think 15 meters or something like that. It's not a lot at all. Not a lot at all. So on small fields like this spreader is actually way too large for a small field like this. But we do have it, so you know, might as well put it to good use. But I'm not gonna need it anytime soon for my field, because I spread fertilizer before I did the plowing, and the planter or seeder rather fertilizers along with planting. So yeah, that's already got 2 stages of fertilization on this. I don't need any more, which means this thing is just going to be standing in the shed until the next harvest season, which would be a waste. So you know, put the equipment to good use. And this should be nearly done. Come on. Such a little piece. Oh my soul. Okay, so let's collect that one. Let's do field 3. That's this one next to it. Also going to be a fairly quick job. So see, that was 3,000 pounds, and it was so quick and not a lot of, no real effort or anything put into it. I think why fertilization jobs pay what they do is because fertilizer itself is fairly expensive, and obviously you as the contractor need to front the money for the fertilizer, but they don't just give it to you. So you know, method madness and all that. This is a little bit bigger than field 2, but still it's not large at all. I think the only one that might take a little bit of time is going to be field 1, but I mean, for 11 grand that's completely and totally worth it. And then I think after all the fertilization, I really need to finish up the baling. But I don't know if we're gonna have time in this video to do it, so I might just continue with that off screen after this video. I don't know, because in all honesty it's pretty boring work, and it's frustrating the fact that you have to stop every few seconds to offload the bale. I'd have loved something like the I know Grown makes a round baler with like a preload chamber. It's some weird technology that they have, that it's actually a continuous round baler, which is like an industry first. But they have like a preload chamber, so when the bale is completed and busy being offloaded, the preload chamber is being stuffed, and once that is then full and the bale is offloaded, then he shoves it into the bale chamber and rolls it in there. It's ingenious, to be quite honest, and I'm just thinking why nobody else before thought of it before now, because really it's very, very useful. I mean, a lot of people prefer round bales over square bales, whatever the equipment may be, what they use, how they use it, how it fits. So a lot of people prefer round bales, and also that Grown continuous baler has got a function to wrap the bales after it unloads. So it's a continuous round baler wrapper. It's amazing. Do yourself a favor and actually Google it sometime to see that thing work. Is very cool. I mean, if you're used to round bales, you bale it up, you stop, you unload, you close the chamber, you continue again. It's you lose a lot of time in that. Where square balers is obviously has the advantage of being continuous in its bale creating procedure. So, it's a good thing. I think it's obviously proprietary. But I mean, Krone is one of the big players in hay mowing, baling technology, all those kind of things. They're really a very, very big player in that. And I think in general, the quality, because I mean, I believe it's German, if I remember correctly. And people and the German engineering and all those kind of things, and it really is a high quality product. And there's a lot of people that really do, they swear by Krone. And we also have the use of a Krone Big M and also Big X which is a forage harvester. So a very, very popular machine to use. I think as far as forage harvesters go, however, there's a lot of other popular ones as well. For example, the New Holland. I know that's also a very popular brand. So I suppose it comes down to the individual, not just needs of the farmer, but preference. I mean, some people swear by John Deere and other people by New Holland, and at the end of the day, the tractors do the same thing and offer similar functionality and features and all those kind of things, and it's purely just a brand preference. Like me with cars, for example, I love Japanese cars. There's nothing wrong with German and American cars and those kind of things. It's just, I prefer them Japanese. So, personal taste and all those kind of things. But anyway, I'm going to speed this up for you, that you don't have to sit and listen to me through this entire fertilization spreading endeavor. And I will see you afterwards. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Another 11,000. So we used, I think, about 2,000 liters of fertilizer, which would be around 3,000 pounds to purchase. And for all three contracts, we were paid around 18,000 pounds. So it's lots and lots of profit. Can't really complain about that. So I'm gonna drop this off, and then I'm gonna get back to baling the joys. I'm gonna try and turn around again inside here, just because it's easier to not reverse through the gate and everything. See, it just makes up. The Massey would definitely not have made that turn. Let's get this dropped off like such. The baler is still there by the grass field, field 19, so we only have to drive over there. I've been speaking to the guys at the shop about the dudes. They're not, well, they don't really deal in stuff that old. So if I want to get the parts and everything to fix it, I'm gonna have to go, I don't know, somewhere else. don't really know where, so I might just put this thing on the web and try and sell it as is. See what I can get, even if it's only for scrap metal. I mean, it was fun while it lasted. That thing just sounded amazing. I really did love it, and it is sad that I have to let it go, but you know, it is what it is. And the other thing, I've mentioned it before, I think I'm going to sell the truck, depending on what I get for it, but you know, I just don't use it. And all the driving around in the cities, I can use the New Holland for that. It's not a large tractor, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. It fits on the roads perfectly. I don't really need the truck anymore. It's purely nice to have, and you know, if you can get a couple of grand for it, then you know, it's a couple of grand. I might even look at speaking to the solar guys and putting a second panel in, because that's a decent amount of income per month. So see, this is what I was talking about. You have to stop every time and unload, and it's a mission. It doesn't take too long, but you know, it's still a mission, and it's time spent standing and idling by the tractor. So it's both time and fuel wasted. It's not a lot, but you know, in the end, if you do, and if you save, what's it, 20 seconds per bale, 100 bales would be, was it 2,000 seconds? Don't ask me how many minutes that is. Actually, let's quickly do the math. My math sucks. So we've got 2,000 seconds divided by 60 would give us 33 minutes. So you have half an hour that you save on every 100 bales. Half an hour on every 100 bales. And if you do 100 bales a day, for example, that's half an hour a day that you save. So you can now do 110 bales, for example, instead of 100 bales, and increase your production by 10%. You know, so even if a couple of seconds spent or saved per bale, depending on your business, depending on your throughput, at the end of the day it could add up to a lot. But I mean, if you only do like a couple of bales, you know, you only bale like once or twice a season, a small grass field, you know, just to feed your couple of cows, then you know, it won't be worth it to invest because it's expensive to invest that amount of money in equipment like that, because I mean, you don't do that many. So the amount of time and resources that you save would take forever to make that back. So everything's got its use, I suppose. But anyway, I think that's going to be it for this video. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please feel free to rate, subscribe or share, and whatever you may choose to do, I will see you on the next one. Bye for now.